Good morning, Patreon subscribers. We had a big move yesterday, and we saw the consequence of that Powell rhetoric in price action. So he's basically opened the door for a Santa Claus rally, which I suspected probably might happen. To be honest with you, you see on our search tool that we've got a Santa Claus picture, and I put that a little while ago, thinking that we were going to get a Santa Claus rally, and it looks like we might do. But the thing is, we've got a strong yen, but there's a little bit of a breakdown of yen and risk. So conventionally speaking, a strong yen would indicate a risk-off environment, but Powell has skewed it a little bit and has opened the door for a risk-on conclusion to the year. So there's going to be a little bit out of bonk, the yen, with risk. Okay, so that's worth noting. And so we can see a strong yen. As you saw in the bubbles just then, you've got strong, so you'd buy the yen, you'd sell Swiss, or you could sell the USD and you buy the yen. So let's look at some setup. So SLC below, we've got new monthly pivots, so we opened below monthly pivot. Okay, that's important. One below is at 135.71, and so that's worth noting. And we've got probably can come down to MS1, to be honest with you. We're 50-50, so we've got to be careful. And the one above is at 140 on the dot. All right, so that's dollar yen. Note where we are with monthly pivot. Let's look at AU. And one above is at 68.38. The one below is large. I was speculating we're going to come down and get that, but of course of the risk on tone from Powell, we rallied, so the dollar has softened as a result, and the yields pretty much collapsed as well. So 68.40, one below is at 66.63. We are a buy, they shorted it, and the buyers are in control. So the smart traders are buying this market, which is good. That's where we had an interchange here. So it's not a bad move there. 126 pips, could have been 145 pips from the crossover. EU, and we'll look at GU. One above is 105 and 102. Note where we are with monthly pivot. They sold it. Buyers are in control. Remember the COT data. You probably would have seen the COT data video now, but do note the banks have been buying Euro FX, and so that's that. And we'll buy here as well. We might just want to retrace a little bit, and then we're inevitably we'll come and get that stop loss cluster above, and technically we're okay. Let's look at GU. Now the stop loss clusters were close for GU, and they are still close. So 121.21, dead easy to remember. 120.60, and we're a buy. They shorted it, and the buyers are in control. And so maybe we might potentially even get both. How wide is that? Yeah, 61 pips. It's quite achievable because the ATR, the average true range on this, is it's very volatile. So it definitely moves more than 60 pips a day. So we might just want to do some liquidity probes, which would be pretty horrible. So be careful with pound. And then we see dollar yen. So let's have a look at the dollar Swiss. If you remember, we hit S3. We'd overdone it a little bit here because we'd over exceeded, support. And so we are below monthly pivot. We are a sell, and they've gone long. So I think that's probably going to be likely at 93.80. Above is at 96. MS1 here. It's achievable because we're below monthly pivot. If we're above monthly pivot, we target resistance. So you keep it nice and simple, and you target the stop loss clusters on the way to support. So because these guys are so long, I think we should be falling to support. The sellers are in control, and we had a crossover here. Okay, so that's it. So today I'm going to do a video on the FX SSI indicators. I don't know which one to focus on first. I might do an alphabetical order and start with the auto trend channels perhaps, or I'm not sure exactly, but each day we're going to have a video on the FX SSI indicators, and then it will lead us up to Christmas. So we can think of it like an advent calendar where each day is going to have a surprise. So I think that'd be quite cool, and it'll bring traffic to fxssi.com as well. They're a really good website. and I recommend their products too. So, note where we are with monthly pivots, note the sentiment, and also keep an eye on that yen bubble as well. So have a great day, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. And then it's the weekend, so that's cool.